Why hello my fellow engineers, Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Timberborn 1.0. Episode 10, Installing Gravity Batteries. Power wheels. Time to get running, guys. So I'm going to turn off the observatory because we won't have the excess power for it, and put all of the observatory scientists on running wheels. We do have 1.3k science. Oh, I'm 1 science shy of elite. We're almost at elite science. And the next big purchases we've already voted on is the dirt excavator. But to get the dirt excavator, we will need smelting and wood treatment. And we're still waiting on the smelter. Come on, wind. Quit messing with me. As you can see, it's very... Oh, there it goes. It's picking up. It's super variable. Which is why you really need gravity batteries with it. Now, let's not forget. I also have a massive volume. I don't know the total volume of this, but it's a lot of water here. It's probably the most water stored anywhere in the map. And I can always release it to this river and pump here if I needed to. Right? I could add a pump here in an emergency. For a drought of this duration, it's going to be no big deal, but that would be a possibility. All right, now that I'm adding more industries, I am ready to add one more house for now. I'm really very slowly ramping up the population. I don't want it to spike or boom or anything like that, so I'm taking it nice and slow. All right, 8 more gears for the smelter. I know I can put that back in. It was just annoying to have it pause the whole time. Cheers. I'm also going to reduce the amount of water pumpers. I don't need to be double pumping. Seems unnecessary. So we're providing 100% of the horsepower needed for all the workshops that we have running right now, and then some. So I'm going to fire one of the power wheelers. That might change when the wind dies down, but it's whatever. It's fine. I'm surprised the amount of oaks I've planted is keeping up with demand, I'll say. I think what I'll do is I'll stop cutting the maples and chestnuts and see if just the oaks alone. Because what I could do is I could divert more footage to oaks if it isn't keeping up with their demands, which it might not be. Meaning like this section could be oaks, or I could put oaks over here or something. Why is the production of the gear maker? It's because I'm not producing planks fast enough to supply gear workshop. Because you make, it should be, I'll prioritize it higher by haulers though. It shouldn't be that bad. But I think it's because, the planks are being diverted. Well, not anymore. Previously, I think the planks were being diverted for construction projects and not being hauled to the workshop. But now I'm not sure. Essentially, not having like a built-up supply of a certain resource makes it hard to sort of troubleshoot its bottlenecks. Because likely the planks were just being dropped in the platforms here. Yeah, that's what they're doing. I can see all the platforms being built. So all the planks that we had for the gear workshop were being sent to the platforms, and that was fundamentally the issue. The thing is, I want these platforms as much as I want the smelter, because they both serve the same purpose of gravity batteries. So at the end of the day, I need both, so I don't care where it goes, just that it goes to one of those two projects. And here's some dandelions ready to collect. This collection flag does cover... Oh god, it misses like the last 3 units. But basically it covers all the dandelion fields. So these 3 wouldn't be collected, but oh well. All right, one more gear. And changing the prioritized by haulers has like made a bit of a difference. There it is, Smelter. And I'll actually keep that person employed. I'm not gonna pause that workplace for now. The other thing I was doing, waiting for that to build, is we are gonna need a wood workshop. But before I do the wood workshop, I think more lumber mills make sense. It's going to be hard to power up these lumber mills until our we have a more significant wind turbine and gravity battery network up, though. So I'll keep these paused for now. But now we're starting to make metal blocks. And I do have a giant metal block storage, so that's good. These 2 storage spots like flood the most frequently, so I'm going to move them away. So now with the metal, we are, just a reminder, the reason we're getting the metal is for the gravity batteries. Because you can't build gravity batteries without them. And then pairing wind turbines with gravity batteries means we'll have power available to us once we have enough turbines. We'll have power available to us, drought, bad tide, regular season, all of it. Won't matter. We'll have power. Yeah, there we go. Productivity is like 70%. That's a bit better. Because I don't have dedicated haulers, that's one of the reasons. That's another thing I could do in district management, is to get a hauling post. I think it's probably about time that I do that, so I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to prioritize that as the highest project and get a hauling post, because the haulers are able to haul twice as many stuff, and moving my builders over to haulers instead, I think is going to be more beneficial, because I think we have a lack of hauling, not a lack of building at this point. I think the hauling logistics is the issue, ultimately. Can you place a gravity batter on top of levees? Yes. And that is exactly what I intend to do. I don't need to build it so high. Like, I don't want to overinvest and try to go up to, like, the ceiling height. Like, that's not necessary. But what we'll do is something like this. Where if... something like that, where we have, well, maybe... yeah. Let's see. If I had dynamite, I could get rid of there. So this is good for one gravity battery. That's a huge vertical drop. And there's another one. So maybe just those 2 for now and focus on 2 batteries. I think that would work. That's kind of like a low cost 2 giant vertical drop batteries. We'll go with that. And we can always scale it up if we need to. Plus there's the other phase 2, because this is quite the mesa. Let's release some water. We're about halfway through. Dump some water back into the main river. Topping it up again. Not that we need to do. It wasn't going to dry up. But there's no reason not to, because we had the water anyway. And one of the advantages, actually, was allow us to move the water wheels sooner. Because the water wheels, once the water starts flowing, really only starts to start rotating once the rivers fill. So filling up the river earlier allows you to get mechanical power out of your wheels sooner. But we're moving away from water wheels anyway, so it's kind of moot in the long run. I have a lot. Okay, so now that we have the haulers host, I'm going to freeze the builders. I'm also going to freeze the last researcher, the inventor, because I really only need to run the observatory. These are just like overflow now. There's no real need to blow them up because I would just get a little bit of logs left back, right? It costs 12. I'd get like, I don't know, 9 back or whatever. So if I ever have like unemployed people and I don't know what to do with them, I can always throw them in the inventors. And I'll just leave the inventors there for now. But all of my dedicated haulers should help us to eliminate some of the bottlenecks of logistics, I hope. Because they can haul a lot more stuff. And they're also really good for builders because they will deliver to build sites as well. And we have maybe half of the axle network built. The other part of this, of course, is going to be to do the logistics of, like, running the axles out to the cliffside. So I'll start designing that, but I don't want them to build that, like, sooner. It's too bad that I can't, like, place it as low priority, rather than, you know, because that would be convenient. Okay, I think that's what it will need to be. And let's continue to mark it as low and lowest to prioritize the stuff closer to all the other buildings. So actually, I'm going to make this normal now. And I'll go and get another lumber mill just to help out. All right, we only have a fraction of a day left of drought. Again, this 9er was a no big deal. I don't know what our limit is. I'm going to say like maybe 18 is maybe when it gets rough. 20 would be bad. I would say like 19-day drought would be the roughest because we couldn't combat. We would be able to irrigate a little bit with this river, but as long as I don't, until I have like dynamite to be able to connect these two rivers, I can't irrigate my important river during long droughts, longer than 20 days. So 20 days, like 19 days, I would say the limit would be. And then we start to get crop die-offs and the like. So, that would be the, you know, after we set up a power network, once we get the dirt excavator, engineering mega projects to be able to survive 20-plus day droughts, because on hard mode, you get 30-day droughts. That's obviously going to be the big push, so that we don't die during a 30-dayer. And then once you can survive a 30-day drought, you can just flex, and everything at that point just becomes, hey, wellness, hey, happiness, hey, aesthetics, hey, monuments. But until then, everything is like water, 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 because, you know, without it, we die. Drought ends. This is set to... I'm going to set this to 1 to start refreshing this section and the main section. I have enough for 2 gravity batteries now for smelted metal. I'm going to keep working that, though, because I know the dirt excavator requires 50, so I need 70 total. And then, of course, I'm going to need the treated planks. Would water dumps be helpful? Maybe, but I don't intend to incorporate them. I'd rather build smart than work hard, if that makes sense. All right, we're going to have some temporary power disruption while our main river fills up. But in a minute, I'll put people back on the observatory instead of the hauling post. Once the wheels are... Yeah, there we go. So now we're down to not so many haulers. I think what I'll do is reduce the workforce here to like 2. So these are like more built. All right, you know what? Let's actually decide. 2 builders, the rest haulers. I don't really need to use the district center as a like general build / haul. I can actually pick and choose. So I'll pick and choose. When do I recommend adding large water storage? You mean the tank? This thing? When you start to get 15 plus droughts, I would say. I don't know, whenever you can afford it. It's not bad to have. Alright, let's try to fill up our water hole 2. Now that it's nighttime and we won't super disrupt our water wheels. But yeah, looks good. Alright, so these dandelions did get contaminated. I think what I'll do is I'll just... Because I know this whole section was kind of unharvestable. I'll just like remove it. Because I don't need to stare at like dead flowers. That makes me sad. Alright. 0.95 so we can fill our water hole. Temporary flooding, not a big deal. This should be at 0.95 too. Yep, 0.95. Yep. Okay. So most of the power shaft... Oh, and the wind turbine. But most of the power shaft to the mountain is built. It's very close to being finished. Just like a few planks left. No big deal. No big deal. I'm also going to build one more lumber mill. And those that were born in the new house are starting to grow up. So we're getting a little bit more of the workforce growth going as well. In growing, what we need to do is keep an eye on our social life. Because, you know, we don't want to neglect the new people by not giving them the zoning for it. And I'll try my very best into not super flooding this area again. Like I normally do. Why does the windmill get waterlogged? It didn't. I didn't see it waterlogged. Although now we are... Oh, it's because the wind died. I was going to say we are needing way more power than we are providing. But there is another easy solution to that, which is the wheel I had hewed and neglected. So that's just wood We'll just build that quick. It's crazy that the water wheels don't require gears. They're gearless. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. Down, 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 down. I said I wouldn't do that, and then I did it. Easy to get distracted. Mr. Sun, dry up my mistakes. And wheat floods and dies real quick, but I've not been even using the wheat because I'm not even making bread yet. There's no point in having this field. I just added it. Shouldn't even have it. But it gives my farmers something to do. You get to regrow something that you will never eat. You're like a corn farmer now. Congrats. All right, this section of the road needs to be built before really any other piece of it, because we won't be able to get out here reasonably quick without it. So this is going to be the new, like, normal tier priority, as well as this. Okay, and these water wheels are roaring now. We're providing 100% power. Good. And our planks are high. That's no problem. In fact, 2 more microplank storages. And then the last thing we need to do before dirt excavation, which we almost have all the science for, is the wood workshop. That is the final necessary piece prior. Just unflood already. I get it. I added too much. We could plant rice, yeah. There it goes. It's back to normal. Yeah, the excavator is great when you get it running. Looks funny. Okay, a drought. Copy that. If drought, that means I'm going to raise this up to 1, filling the left reservoir full of water. And all the more reason to push towards grav batteries, because drought means no wheels would work anyway. Alright, that's too far from district. Is that because of elevation? Or distance? Okay, yeah, I see. Some of that is my fault. I think I can just break that down. And then I'll put... Yeah, that's all I needed to do. They couldn't walk past the axle. But the axle costs 1 log. And it breaks for 1 log. Because 75% of 1 is still 1. So, axles are one of those magical things you get full refunds on. And now they'll be able to build the rest of the vertical shaft. Lovely. Alright. So what do we need? We need 40 planks, got it. 40 gears, don't got it. And then 10 metal, got it. So we really just need the gears. And the gears productivity is now 93% because there's lots of planks being provided for the gear production. So that really shouldn't be much of an issue to build up what we need for the gravity battery. So we're looking good. We're looking good. All right, the left reservoir is full up to 95. And then the only thing I'm going to need to do in the last day prior to drought is, like, top up my water pond. Knowing that I'm really bad at it, and we'll probably flood it. Oh, I have no haulers. Who can be furloughed? You guys are just standing around? Alright, I'm going to fire one of you. It indicates that, like, I have plenty of logs, and yeah, I'm at 236. I'm basically max capacity, so. You're a hauler now. Congrats. All right, now that that vertical shaft is done, we can put the axle back. Whatever. I'm just going to delete it, so it's not my problem. Just a lot of hand waving there. Yeah, this log I got full refunds on, but we're going to make it disappear. The thing you'll be able to see once built is like what its potential is. Like I could even build them here. But it's 2,000 power per like meter drop. So the higher the drop, the better the function. Would be the dumb way to describe it. Can my builders not reach there? Yeah, they can. They just haven't destroyed the dandelion. Okay. Let's get more builders. Sorry, haulers. And now that we have half a day pre-drought, I'm going to fill up the water hole. That beaver's like, oh god, flood! Let there be water! I hope I did it. Or, yeah, I mean, it will be full enough, I think. 13-day drought. Copy that. So, not sure if we're going to be forced to tap that water back there. We'll see. But this is, I would say, at like 90% of level 4 out of, you know, so it's not like I'm missing a whole lot of water from that. With all of the... observatory fire. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not producing enough power. Eventually, with the wind, we'll be able to outproduce what we can with the wheels and run everything as business as usual, even during droughts. But not right now. He's doing a pretty good job of supply, but not 100%. So we are working towards the dirt excavator. I have enough research for that, so let's go ahead and buy it. And the way this works is it will dig a massive hole where that like fan blade thing is, digging all the way to bedrock, to 0. So one thing I could do, for instance, is if I put it like, let's say here, it would dig a hole in this section here all the way to bedrock. The advantage is I would have a ton of water right next to my farms, which like sounds pretty good because I would have a deep well that is used for like irrigation. Now, of course, you only irrigate like up 2 levels. So once the water drops too much, but it would give me like 40 days of water in this one spot, which is like pretty awesome. So that's probably what I'm going to do is like excavate pretty close to where the farmland is so that I can have like a deep water hole for farming purposes. You know, once the wood treatment's built, because obviously we need wood treatment first. In fact, I'm going to pause the wood workshop. I'm going to destroy the wood workshop so that the materials can be repurposed for the gravity batteries because they're more important at the moment. This needs to be built for productivity. I don't care about the wood workshop just yet. And there's a lot of infrastructure needed to be built over here. Oof. Well, I do have 4 builders and 4 haulers. We are getting a lot of injuries. The injuries are coming from industries that are, like, inherently dangerous, like gear and lumber mill. So they're kind of unavoidable. But at the moment, at least I have enough med beds. But as you can see, I'm, like, essentially max capacity med beds. They're just constantly filling them up. So I might need another med bed or 2 to keep up with the workplace injuries. Basically, there's no beaver OSHA. So they just keep sticking their hands in the gear wheels and the lathes. Bunch of lathe injuries. You dummies. Stop doing that to yourself, dummies. Is there a bathing building? Yes, there is. And the wellness, there's a shower, and then there's the Lido. So the Lido is like a river relaxation, and then the shower is, and both of them meet wet fur, but like I would do Lido more than that, and you know that's a future project. At the moment, their current level of wellness is enough to get the job done, and I'm not investing any further in that. Essentially, I don't want them happy until they dehydrate to death. I want them happy and not to dehydrate to death. So I'm picking, obviously, water mega projects over comfort projects. If I was on normal difficulty, it'd be the other way around. Because I think on normal difficulty, if I'm mistaken, the longest possible drought is like, I think 15 days, 14 days, something like that, which is about the droughts we're having right now. And this is all the infrastructure I would need for that? That's a joke. Hard difficulty, like, puts it in a whole new tier. So now we have a path all the way up the mountain. And we're slowly filling the logs up for the levees that we're building upon, because I don't have the dirt excavator yet. Otherwise, I would build with dirt, which would be a lot cheaper. I can't wait until I have dirt as building material, because then I can just, like, mega project build earth moving. But for now, we have to stack wood. Now, I haven't been running the wheels, but I will start to put some hamster wheels, well, beaver wheels, back into operation, because, like, wind is being so finicky that we have no productivity as a result unless it's blowing. All the more reason for the batteries to get put in. So for the batteries, just a little reminder, we are going to need 40 gears. I have enough gears for a single battery, so I'm going to keep one of the batteries paused. One of the batteries unpaused. I'd rather build one battery than 50% of 2 batteries, because 50% of 2 batteries does nothing for me. Which means this stuff... Oh, it's already super low priority. Okay, that's fine. That is correct. Can they reach these shaft posts? Yes. 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 Nothing is unreachable, as far as I can tell. It's all fine. They can build down a lot better than they can build up. They can build up 2 and down 4, I think. I forget the maximum build down, but it's quite a lot. We have enough room in our lower river that I'm going to dump the water now. It'd be better if I, like, let it slowly drain out, but we're not going to dehydrate from this drought, so if I waste a little, I don't care. We didn't waste any. Nice. Oh, we're so close. It was a big project, running like a giant axle wheel throughout the entire... If you told me to build here, it'd be so much easier. But, I don't know, we're going for broke. I mean, I think the big cost of the project, I would say, is like what goes into a gravity battery, because 40 gears is kind of a lot of gears, and like the planks and logs are a lot cheaper. So there is an argument to be made of like, you might as well have as much efficiency out of your gravity batteries as possible. It's just there was so much infrastructure needed first. Will I eventually start farming spatter duck? Eventually, yeah. Eventually I intend to fill up all of their well-being, but in lieu of repeating myself, I am focusing on water projects more than well-being projects, because water projects, not doing the water projects get you killed, not doing the well-being projects don't get you killed, so I'm trying not to die. I had just mentioned this, but to repeat myself, water way more important than happy. Without water, dead. Without happy, sad. So you pick. Do you want to be dead or unhappy? You pick. All right, so we've got, what do we have left? I think a single power shaft, levee, and battery. Pretty good. I need a soundboard? Yeah, I need a macro of like, I do have a macro, it's this one. I'm working on things I think I need to work on. I'm not working on the things I don't. Okay, gravity battery's going in. Nice! Alright, highest priority now. And then when we have the gears for the next one, I'll build the next one. But having just one is going to be more than enough. Also, of course, you build it in the upright position. You're building it with maximum charge when you fully construct it. Which will help out a lot. So we'll be able to release that power over the next 6 days while the drought continues. So honestly, I might not even need the second one for a while. Not until we have a lot more power demanding stuff. But having the infrastructure there for it is smart and useful. Yes, Nightbot has good timing. Yep, the battery's half done. Oops, 60%. It's just moving planks and gears now. So as far as evaporation goes, we're at, I'm going to say 50% evaporated. It's been about 10 days, right, into this drought. I think it was a 15-day drought. We're at day 10 of 15. So as you can see, the water is half evaporated as a result. My main river, however, is... it actually kind of looks like half. Just because it's really high volume. So the amount of water back here wasn't a lot. But whatever. So we've half evaporated the water. And then, of course, if I wanted to not have that be a thing, I could not have it be a thing, right? Like, I could fill it back up if I wanted to from this mega tub. Woohoo! We did it! So, we have so many stored power. Here we go. Not on the wheel. So now that we've got that going, there is a new project. The new project is make stockpile materials for dirt excavation. Which means wood workshop. That is the highest priority. So gears, planks, logs for the wood workshop. And then once that is done, we'll be able to get the materials needed for the dirt excavator. And then, of course, terrain block. There's really no point in having the dirt excavator without terrain block. We'll get the terrain block once the water's flowing again and we have the horsepower for the observatory. Now, while we do that, here's the way the gravity battery works. As the network demands power, it supplies it through the gravity battery. So right now we have very low wind. It's only generating 87 horsepower a pop. So all the excess power needed is being pulled from the battery, which is why it's vertically dropping a little bit. And then at night, it pulls back up because the wind turbines didn't stop. They keep going. And now actually they're putting out 253 horsepower a pop. So we're generating 506 excess, and this is going to pull all the way back up to the top. So it'll zigzag with the, with like yo-yo with the availability of wind power. But the one battery is like totally equaling out as like 100% supply and demand, which is phenomenal. Thank you for tuning in to Timberborn 1.0, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodomont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodomont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Beavers.